It's the same story, different country. 1950s.
Let's go.
In the early 50s.
1950s.
Iran elected a leader. At the time, Britain and America controlled their oil and their resources. They elected a new leader who nationalized the resources.
Nationalize the resources means
that
the nation controls it now?
Correct. So what a lot of countries that have a lot of resources do in a lot of situations is, let's say there are resources to the country. Right. They will use those resources to fund stuff for the country.
Makes sense.
But what we do is we privatize everything. Capitalism. Privatize everything. So we go in a place with resources and we take those resources for corporate interests and give them pennies and say that we're helping them. A new leader came in and said, no, I'm not having this no more. He nationalized it so the people would benefit off the resources. And America and Britain, being America and Britain, is not having that. A regime change there. So for 20 years, it was an imperialistic puppet in Iran. And in the late 1970s is when they overthrew the puppet, and we've been beefing with Iran ever since. It's the same story, different country every time. It's the same.
This is really one big ass game of Monopoly.
It's the same story, different country.
They took out Syria, Yemen, Libya, Iraq, Afghanistan.
Damn.
Iran is the last power left in the region. And it's crazy because Gaddafi, when he was alive, he actually gave up his nukes. They wanted to give him his nukes. He gave up his nukes. They didn't want him to step down. But they took him out in the most demeaning and demoralizing way. And then you have Hillary Clinton in an interview laughing about him dying.
I got to do my history because I don't really know. The only thing I know about Muammar Gaddafi was a Cat Williams his stand-ups.
He was in charge of Libya. The literacy rate jumped literally like 60%. School was free. Housing was a right. There was no homeless. They had no debt. No debt. If you wanted to be a farmer, it gave you land, gave you seeds. If you wanted to go to college and Libya did not have the program that you wanted, they would pay for you to go overseas.
That's fine.
In order to study. They had the highest GDP in all of Africa. He wanted to bring an irrigation system to make free water to Libya. He wanted to extend that to the rest of Africa. He called it the 8th wonder of the world. Wow. Free water to all of Africa.
That's crazy.
You know what NATO did? NATO bombed it.
Isn't that why something about Hillary Clinton always wanted to privatize water or something like that?
They want to privatize everything.
Shout out to Bill Burr.
Everything. Corporate interest. Capitalism. They want to privatize every dollar. If they could
free water,
if they could charge
bottle this shit
if
up
they
at
could
Walmart,
charge you for the air you breathe, they would charge you. This was all off the resources of Libya, because when you have the resources, you can do stuff like this. And not only that, he wanted to bring a national currency to Africa, backed off the resources. Couldn't have that, so he wanted the irrigation system and a centralized currency. So he gave up his nukes. He was going to leave himself for power. They didn't want that. They wanted him gone.